Gloom, gloom, and more gloom. A brave troll might find hex essence in that forgotten place, but gathering it would be a gruesome task.
No, not like this place. It make his hide prickle.
Grunwa feels the same. Maybe there is a blood drop nearby, like on the Red Meadow or in Mugwa's cradle.
Well, either way, it makes the gift restless. It is like the spirits are talking to him.
Perhaps. The lore speaks of such places, with a hide between the then and the now, and the dreaming life and the waking life is thinner. Maybe this is such a place.
Sounds spooky. Well, they are not here to solve the mysteries of Urgoth. Let them find those time window creatures, harvest their hex essence, then get back to the tribe camp. They have already been gone for too long. What was that?
Looked like a harvester to Grunwa. They are souls enslaved by the Dark Elf Brittlebones, and they use them to farm Echo.
Echo? Like the echoes the Moonkin are searching for?
More or less. The Echo the Dark Elves use is just plain leftover hex power from the deceased. Grunwa supposes you could call it Echo of Death.
Then what is this one doing here?
Good question. Grunwa suspects it fled its masters. They should keep an eye out for it, Chieftain. Only fools challenge the Moonkin. Ready for action. This looks interesting. Let's go take a closer look. Let Zaska get a look.
There! Harvester again!
Going now.
What is this? This way. He is going. The blood for the tribe! They are coming next. Zaska is north.
What on earth is this?
He moving. Interesting. Probably.
He is on his way. In that direction?
Head towards certain doom. It keeps running away. Maybe it wants the Moonkin to follow. Let Akrov see.
He is going.
The gift.
At his surface, he will protect the tribe.
madness was that? This one controlled the Bone People as if he were Nor himself.
Well, good thing he is dead.
Find out. Let him at them. This looks interesting.
That way.
He is on his way. Again!
On his way.
Noag feels something nearby, strong with hex power. What this? Coming for them. Interesting.
Let Akrog see.
This looks interesting. Huh. What is that? Careful! Look dangerous!
All right. This should be enough. Time to head back.
Proper look. This one's strong. Almost strong as Noag.
Noag speaks true. Let them hope the Hex essence will be worth it.
Where is the Brittlebone Ghost, though? The Harvester.
Strange. Noag see it before fight. Now gone. Do spirits ever make sense? Maybe it was just a stray soul that felt drawn to the Moonkin's hex power.
Very possible. They will never know, Chieftain.
It will be. Let them move on.
Noag, go! chieftain! Good of him to come by. And look, here they find more pieces of cub?
An arm, it is true. How is Anuk?
Still alive. That is something, he guess. Anug want to speak to chieftain, because he have idea about how they can find more food for their kin.
Akrog thanks thee, Eye Master. You must go.
Stay safe, chieftain.
What is this? Moving now.
What on Urgath is this? Let Zazka get a proper look. Ah, chieftain. Mogwa prays. How can Crumb help him?
Akrog wonders. What thinks Crum of the plan to resurrect Zarek's cub? Thinks he it is, well, foolish?
No.
So he shares not Grungwar's worries? That it will simply devour the Moonkin once they free it?
No. Zarak may have abandoned the trolls, but they are still his spawn, just like the cub is. This bond runs deep.
But the field dog was bred to destroy.
That is what they say about him. Tell Crumb, say the brittle bones not the same thing about troll kind? That they are crude, brutal creatures who only want to crush things?
They do.
There he has it. So, no. Crumb believes not that the cub will show the Moonkin any love, but perhaps fairness. He believes not this creature is as evil as everyone says it is. He believes it not.
Well, Akrog hopes Crum is right. If only he could be sure.
Only Magua can be sure of anything in this life. But there is no point in dwelling on it now, chieftain. He has made his choice. So now all they can do is wait and see.
That is true. This might sound like a strange question, but how is Crum always in such high spirits?
He is.
It certainly seems that way.
Well, perhaps it is because Crumb always tries to see the good, even where there is much bad. And he has much to thank Mogwa for, no? His beaks, his kin, an apprentice like Julok.
And the hunters, and the rot, and the knowledge that only a few moons ago, the tribe lost almost half their kin and the greatest chieftain there ever was.
Well, that is true. And of course Crumb knows about all this, and it gives him dark thoughts, like everyone else. It is just... even in the darkest of days, there is something to be happy about, is there not? It is like an island in a sea. Even if one is chased by sharks, is it not better to think about the island rather than the sharks? While swimming as fast as one can. Think, chieftain. Akrog surely must have an island or two, even right now, amid all this chaos. Or not?
Well, there is little blood, Akrog supposes.
No, I'd where?
Never mind.
Well, that sounds like a good island for a start, no? And whenever the dark thoughts get too strong, he should think of it, rather than the gloom.
Well, Akrog will see. He thanks Crum for his words.
Of course.
How is the mood of the tribe?
The chieftain cannot tell?
He can, but Akrog is worried the kin show him not their true feelings. They always want to appear strong before the chieftain.
Well, that is true. However, Crum thinks that as long as the kin still have the strength to show a strong face to the chieftain, it means that they have not given up. Once they bother not to conceal their fear anymore, it means that things have grown truly dire.
So they are not despairing yet.
No. No, they are not. Crum feels this.
Well, Crumb's words in Magwa's ear. There is something Akrog has been meaning to ask. This bond Noag feels with Crumb. Feels Crumb it too.
Why Big Blood speak of Noag like he not here?
A good question. Perhaps they can speak of this later, Chieftain.
Has Crumb come up with any new music for the songbone that Little Blood made for him?
Oh, plenty. It is easier than Crumb thought, and so far everyone is liking the sounds he makes with it. Well, either that, or they are too friendly to tell him otherwise.
Akrog has been wondering about this for a while. How is it that Crumb knows so much about plants, herbs, and animals?
How can he not? A troll spends every day of his life within them.
And yet most of them cannot tell the difference between life grass and a bitter shroom.
True. The truth is, Crumb has always been different in that regard. Since he was a cub, he has felt like the plants and beasts are talking to him.
So, Crumb can talk to plants and animals?
Not talk like Crumb and the Chieftain are talking right now, but in a way, he can. In the end, Crumb believes it comes down to choosing to listen. One can choose to see just green leaves and fur, or one can choose to see the living being behind it. Crumb decided to do the latter, and that is how he learned.
That sounds fascinating. Maybe Akrog should listen more.
If he decides to do so, Crumb will join him and help. It is good for the mind, Chieftain, especially when one carries such a heavy burden as he does. Perhaps when all this is over.
Perhaps. Well, Akrog must carry on now. It was good to talk to Crumb, as always.
Magwa prays.
Can Krasik help, Chieftain?
Sharp tusks and...
Sharp tusks and thick hide, Chieftain.
Akrog greets Julog.
Ah, Chieftain. What is it he needs?
Akrog wondered how Julog was faring. These are difficult times, Julog. How are the Ironbeaks?
Oh, as Chieftain might have guessed, they are restless. It is hard enough to find food to fill the Moonkin's bellies, so Julog has little to give the beaks. Noag like beaks? Julog knows. Noag always liked to play with them when he was little. Not that he ever was.
Are there enough tamed Ironbeaks for the needs of the tribe? The survival of the Moonkin is at stake.
Enough Ironbeaks, it is true, but
Julog sounds worried. Is something wrong?
Julog is sure it is nothing, but the tribe's strongest Ironbeak is unwell. Ever since Julog took the beaks to train out in the jungle, maybe it ate some bad carrion. Julog cannot say, but he keeps the beaks away from that area to be safe.
The strongest beak. That must be hard to bear for Julog and his master.
It is true. If Julog loses this Ironbeak, it'll be more painful than the strike of a poisoned dagger. But Julog should know better and not get attached to the beaks. Julog is still learning.
It is true. Julog should know better. Do what he can to keep the beak strong and on the side of the Moonkin. Crom will guide him.
It shall be done, Chieftain.
Akrog has been meaning to tell Julog how impressed he is with his efforts to tame the Moonkin's Ironbeaks.
Chieftain is kind to say so, but the job has its challenges, and Julog still makes some mistakes.
It is not a simple task for an apprentice. Julog should be proud of his progress.
It is true. The task is hard, and Julog is proud. Ironbeaks are noble creatures. Has Chieftain ever heard the tale of Zag, the winged destroyer of Urgath?
Akrog thinks not. What is this tale?
Zag was the mightiest Ironbeak ever seen in Urgath, many times the size of the tribe's other beaks. Zag filled the hearts of all enemies with fear. In one battle, Zag chased a host of green-skinned raiders deep into the swamps. They did not leave the swamps again. All that was left was the skull of the greatest greenskin. Zag carried it out of the mists.
Akrog knew not that Ironbeaks could be so large or so clever. Zag must have been a great foe.
It is true. The tale of Zag is the reason Julog wanted to help train the beaks. If only Julog could hatch an Ironbeak like Zag one day, the Moonkin would need fear no greenskin or brittlebone.
Spending all day with Ironbeaks needs much bravery and patience. Has Julog ever heard what happened when Akrog tried to help Crom tame a beak?
Julog has heard the tale. One of Crum's beaks wanted to be friends with the chieftain when he was a cub, but he did not like how the beak showed its affection, no?
Such sharp talons.
Very sharp. Knows the chieftain what it really takes to become a tamer of the Ironbeaks? Huh? A thick hide.
And Julog has many scars already.
Oh, it will not be long before Julog has more scars than hide. It takes patience to tame each beak, but it is worth the pain when Julog finally sends a tamed beak on a Moonkin mission.
And they always return to Julog when he calls?
There is a moment, just before the beak lands on Julog's arm, when Julog thinks it will not stop, or might even attack Julog. A small moment, every time, but then the beak lands, ready for its orders. Julog feels fortunate to have their trust.
Is Crom a fair master to Julog? Akrog knows the bond between apprentice and master is not always simple.
Fair? Crom is the fairest of all masters. Julog learns much from him and hopes to learn much more in the time to come. Crom, good teacher. Always nice to Noag. Noag is right. Crom is nice to Julog too.
The Moonkin is blessed to have a master tamer like Crom.
The chieftain speaks the truth.
It cheers Akrog to see the beaks flying. Is Julog cheered by them too?
It is true. But then Julog has always found joy in nature. Talag used to call Julog beak bones.
Talag. He was Julog's trusted one.
He was. It seems like a long time since Julog lost him to the hunters. Julog wishes to tell the chieftain that the pain of losing a trusted one is not forever. But that would be a lie.
Tell Agrok more about Talag.
Gladly. Telling stories of Talag gives him life again, if only for a moment. Talag and Julog grew up together, played together, exploring everywhere, from the stinking swamps to the tops of mountains. Talag always took risks, climbed trees, jumped off high rocks. Julog had his head in the leaves, or the grass instead, looking for creatures.
That sounds like Julog. He looked out for beaks too?
It is true. Julog also looked to the sky. But when it was time to find our places within the Moonkin, Talag thought Julog would be a warrior like him. Talag was hurt when Julog chose another path.
Was Julog not tempted to learn to fight?
Only because Julog wanted to stay with Talag. But Julog did not want to kill. Or be killed.
And Talag understood not.
Talag was sad, but he understood Julog well enough. He never made Julog feel bad for choosing the peaceful path. Only Julog made Julog feel bad.
Well then, Agrok must go.
Thick hide and sharp tusks, chieftain.
Let Grunwa take a closer look.
You will lead the way.
This looks interesting. What on Urgath is this? What now? More trouble? This looks interesting.
Agrok is listening. Let Agrok see. Agrok is glad to see Ugruk made it here safely.
It true. Ugruk here. Ugruk help chieftain? Need some work done?
Ugruk can relax. Agrok just wants to talk to him. There is not much work for Ugruk in this place. Agrok will let Ugruk know if he thinks of anything.
That okay. Ugruk keep busy. Ugruk look around. So messy here. Ugruk could fix it, but he not in fixing mood.
Why not?
Ugruk always work with Zorta, but Zorta gone now, not come back.
Zorta, of course. Agrok will make those brittle bones pay for every troll they have killed or taken.
Ugruk know they will. Brittle Bones took Zorta 'cause of big tusks. Left Ugruk alone. His tusks stumpy. Stumpy tusks never was good thing, but saved Ugruk's life.
Agrok remembers Zorta's tusks. So strong and sharp. Zorta was right to be proud of them. Only Mugwa knows where Zorta is now.
Ugruk thinks Zorta dead. Zorta sick when Brittlebones took him. Even if Brittlebones not kill him, Zorta die anyway. No Moonkin to help.
Ugruk might be right. Such a waste of Moonkin life. Perhaps Ugruk can help Agrok by reminding him of happier times.
That not easy. Ugruk got it. That time when Ugruk and Zorta made new shelter for Elder Grafer? Ugruk forgot to put door in it. Just stones and wood, no door.
Akrog can still see the look on Elder Grafer's face when he saw his new home. Grafer was so angry, Akrog was worried he would twist Ugruk's tusks right off.
Lucky Ugruk has stumpy tusks. Elder Grafer said he would make door using Ugruk's head, but Ugruk got away.
Ugruk fixed it though, not long after that. Elder Grafer's finished shelter was admired by all the Moonkin.
It true? Ugruk and Zorta made many shelters together. Was fun to build. All gone now. Even Zorta.
The Moonkin will find their home again, somewhere. Then Ugruk can build all the shelters the tribe needs, in honor of Zorta and every troll the Moonkin has lost. Where are the others? Akrog has barely seen them since the Moonkin came here.
Not many workers left now. So many taken by brittle bones.
Were they all victims of the Hunters?
Most were, but some just got sick and never better again. Blood rot made them weak. If Troll got hurt, even small wound, he could not fight it. One worker cut his finger chopping firewood. A few days later, dead.
Little wonder their numbers have dwindled. Akrog hopes a better time for all of them is on its way.
Ugruk wanted to be like before, was happy tribe, strong.
The tribe will be happy again. One day. It was good to talk.
Ugruk here if Chieftain need him.
Can a troll not rest for a moment? With this?
Grunwald will go there.
He's going. Interesting. Probably. What is that?
This has hex power in it. Maybe it belongs to the golem in the southwest. What is needed of him?
Let Zazka get
It looks not alive.
And it is blocking the way. Maybe they could bring...
Even if they could, they should not.
Let him see.
Careful! It moved!
Why does it plague the Moonkin?
So powerful. And it had not even a soul.
It almost killed them. And Grunwald took a closer look.
What is that? You find out.
What is this? There. The other half of the Ice Golem heart.
Back to the golem, then.
No one go there.
Driving me nuts, that's my problem. Just rock, water and cold every bloody day. And that goddamned cold.
But it's safe, Lana. No one can get in. That's the entire point.
And no one leaves, neither.
You know, we're here for a greater purpose.
Wilfred! Lorna! What is it? Hierophant Ishara. They say she's coming to the temple.
What? But the last blessing was...
3 moons ago. That's the point. No one knows why she's here.
All right. What does Akrog need to do, Grungwar? Just put the heart into...
That should make it come to life. Grungwa will then try to control it with a hex.
All right, then. Be ready. There it goes. Grungwar.
Magua bless these old hands. He is trying. It moves! Crush it! Crush it now! He might be old, but his tusks are still sharp.
It is dead.
Magua's tasks. Grungwa is sorry. Grungwa.
What by Magua happened?
What looked it like? Grungwa could not control it. He was too weak. Too old.
It is fine. He tried.
Is there any way they can bring that thing back to life?
No. No, Grungwa thinks not. But... they see that. The heart?
It is still glowing.
It is true. They should take a look at it. Thought so. It is still full of hex power. Interesting.
Is it useful?
Grungwa thinks so. It is true. They should be able to use some of the Golem's hex power with the heart alone.
It can turn Norag into Golem?
No, but maybe cast a useful hex or two. They should hold on to it, Chieftain.
All right.
This looks interesting.
Someone made camp here. Smells like troll.
Maybe the dead fleshkin did this.
And there are footprints too. From brittle bones.
Going now. He is going.
Akrog is
This
ready.
looks interesting.
All right.
Take a closer look.
The camp by the creek. It could have been his.
It probably was. He must have been tired and needed to rest.
Some of his bones.
Or someone pushed him.
Ready for action. What now? This more trouble.
Look, those wounds. Tusks.
Maybe the dead fleshkin did this.
They should go back to the dead fleshkin. Maybe now they can work out what happened to him. What about the tusk marks on that corpse next to the village? That could have been him too, no?
Zazka thinks Akrog speaks true. Must have been hungry.
Akrog thinks they will not find more clues. What think the Moonkin? How died the Fleshkin?
Well, they can only guess. But Grunwa still thinks the brittle-bone villagers were behind it. Think about it. Their chieftain tried to kill the Moonkin. So why would he not have tried to kill the Fleshkin too? It makes sense.
Old Hide always sees what he wants to see. Zazka thinks he ran from the outcast slaver.
The outcast?
It is true. They put him in those chains and then he fled. One day before the other slavers brought the goblin into the camp. That was the beast the greenskins talked about. Then he ran, tried to survive, and fell off the cliff.
He also just sees what he wants to see.
No, Zazka has reasons for what he believes. Old Hide simply kept his first opinion.
What thinks Little Blood? What killed the Fleshkin?
He on cliff, now dead under cliff. Maybe he just fell? No one fault.
Akrog thinks Grungwar is right. The Brittlebones killed the Fleshkin, just like they tried to kill the Moonkin.
One more reason to just crush them and take the food.
Of course, Old Hide. Of course.
Should Grungwa bless him? If he blesses him not, Magua will never take his soul into the moonlit river.
The Moonkin know not who he was. Maybe he was an enemy of the Moonkin. Let them leave him here. Akrog has spoken.
Fine. Very well. They are done here.